Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Track Titan Community Race Series. And here we are at the finale of Season 5. It's all been building up to this. The championship is sealed, but there's still plenty to fight for the drivers out on the grid today in the Formula Vectors. As you can see from the pictures on your screen, we are here at historic Watkins Glen in upstate New York. A fantastic place to round off the season here. I Heart New York, proudly displayed in the centre of the corner. And joining me here in the, down the road from the Big Apple is Spitslam tonight. How are you doing, Spitslam?
I'm doing very well. Hello, guys.
We've got an exciting couple of races on our hands today. Formula Vectors, as you will well have seen from the title and the thumbnail and everything like that. And if you know anyone that's racing, I'm sure they'll tell you that everyone's been looking forward to this one, as this is a very, very popular car, isn't it?
Don't know about that. Definitely, it's fast. That's for sure. And my internet died.
Absolutely is. I think the server might have just switched itself off, so we'll restart.
Yeah. That's great.
But fortunately for everyone on the stream, that's not affected anything because we've been running through some GVs here. So welcome everyone that's on the stream whilst we get the server back up and going again. We'll have a talk about what we can expect tonight. Obviously the Hot Lap Challenge runs in the week before these races, and it's been a tight one, hasn't it, in the Hot Lap Challenges? The times have been close-knit.
Yeah. Times have been very close, and we'll see some very interesting race, and that's definitely coming these coming minutes.
Absolutely.
With Ryan topping the board, with Nicholas Sharon being second, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Yeah, Ryan Skywalker topped the Hot Lap Challenge. He put in a 1:13.882. Fastest lap of anyone this week, and so he's going to be looking to recreate that here in qualifying and in the race as well. Nicholas Sharon wasn't far behind. He was a 1:13.929, so two drivers down into the 1:13s, and then Nathan Alder, not a million miles behind. He's actually just got back from America, so he'll be fresh off the plane, looking to recreate some of that American swaz, I'm going to call it. Here at Watkins Glen. Let's go to some track footage for everyone on the stream, and we'll see Juice Veers here in the Red Bull car. We'll put him in the Red Bull car because he's a Dutchman himself. We thought we'd match Max Verstappen to our very own quick Dutchman. And he's just starting his outlap here. So the drivers are all just going to be starting their outlaps here for qualifying. 10 minutes qualifying, of course.
We are not sponsored by any of these companies, neither Red Bull, neither Mercedes, neither Ferrari, just nothing. It's fan-made liveries. Thank you, Ryan Skywalker, for providing them.
They are big shout outs as always to Ryan Skywalker. He's been spending all season making these liveries, and I hope we get to see most of them. I don't even know if we'll get to see all the fantastic liveries that he's made, because he made about 12 or 13, which is a fantastic effort from the South African driver, and he's out in his own custom livery tonight. Once he gets, if he can get out, he was having some PC problems before. He was actually telling me in the week leading up to this, was Ryan Skywalker, that it's a very interesting circuit, a very interesting car, this Watkins Glen and Formula Vector. Second place might actually not be that much of a disadvantage here, because you're going to be starting on that. Well, of course, the second place always starts on the outside for the first corner, but with the way that the track dips down and then dives back up the hill, hanging it around the outside might actually be advantageous going into the chicane that comes just after. So,
yeah,
we'll see.
Bring out the Trackmania. The Trackmania strategies, and let's just go the fastest way we can just connect with the tarmac. It sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like a great idea, and we'll see if anyone actually puts that to play today. I'm going to jump on board with Juice Veers now, and we'll see what a lap looks like from his point of view. He's just about to come into the final corner, or final few corners of the circuit here. Excuse me. that's him going through the heel there and win the kind of central infield section of the circuit. As I said, a very historic circuit here at Watkins Glen. Racing started here back in the early 1900s, and the circuit's been through a few variations before we've settled upon this fantastic layout, iconic in all forms of American car racing. And here is Juice Vayers into the first corner, braking deep down into fourth gear, using the exit curb to get a run onto this tight S's section. You've got a quick right-hander and then a slightly tighter left-hander, but foot still flat to the floor in these Formula Vector cars, and then a long right-hander onto the back straight. We're including the chicane in this layout as he bounces off the inside curbs there, throwing the car in before the outer loop corner. Another long right-hander here, powering out of the corner down the hill. You can see on the right there the cut through for the smaller layout, but we're not doing that today. Through chute corner, and much like a chute, it spits you out on the other side, and then you're braking deep once again in towards the toe hairpin right at the bottom end of the circuit. He's going to come across the bridge here, over through the boot, and then down, braking once again into the quite tight heel corner. This is almost a hairpin, but it opens out a little bit at the exit so you can get some power down. A nice spot for overtaking and later in the race, that one. And like we saw before, through the infield section here with Juice Vayers, he's going to be powering through this very open left-hander here into the final corner of the circuit. It's a long right-hander underneath the I Heart New York signs and across the line. Juice Vayers with a fantastic lap there, and that is going to put him 6th place on the grid as it stands right now, a 1:15.966. Plenty to improve for Juice there. I'm sure he's going to get a faster time than that, isn't he?
It's definitely great lap by Juice. It's going to start, of course, having ball with time of 1:13.8.
Yeah, what a ridiculous lap time that is from Nicholas Sharin. The Polish driver took home 2 wins last time out. He's in a Martini livery today, Martini Williams 1, and yeah, he's putting it to good use by absolutely throwing down the rubber. Currently on provisional pole position, a 1:13.845, and I think that could be faster than Ryan Skywalker's time for that lap challenge.
1 second.
Oof. By gum.
He's 1 second ahead of Isaac Johansson in second place. 1:14.869, with Nicholas Sharin having 1:13.845.
So clearly there is a...
Nicholas Sharin is faster than the second. He's definitely replicating the pace of Williams in the 2015 era with... Oh, who was it? Lance Stroll.
Lance Stroll and Bottas.
17. Right? 2017 Baku, Lance Stroll was third into Azerbaijan Grand Prix. If I'm right, it was 2017.
I think it was. It was a Stroll Bottas duo, if I'm not mistaken. Was it 16? 2016?
That's definitely correct.
Yeah.
That was the European Grand Prix, though. It was under a different name.
There's a throwback. Well, F1 cars can only wish they're as quick as these Formula Vectors. These Formula Vectors are, of course, an Assetto Corsa creation. A fantastic little cars to drive. The downforce on them is absolutely fantastic. You can just throw the car around the corners. And
something between Red Bull X 2010 and Indy cars.
Yeah, kind of, isn't it? It's a fantastical car, but it's got roots in realism. Isaac Johansson still a second down on Nicholas Sharin. Nicholas Sharin in another league right now. Ryan Skywalker has been struggling to get into the server by the looks of it still. Nathan Alder into the front row of the grid. He's put in a decent lap time there of 1:14.514. Definitely a time he could improve on there in the TKR livery. Definitely a time I could see him improving on. But Nicholas Sharin just seems to be absolutely away with it right now, doesn't he?
Definitely seems like it. We should also mention we have a safety car for this race. If any carnage happens with these fast-flowing cars, it's almost on rails. Any mistake can happen. So if 3 or more cars crash, there will be a safety car period. And do you want to tell the stream what our safety car is for today, Adam?
That's absolutely right. Yeah, we've got a safety car, and well, as Nathan Alder's just blipped into Blitz there, you can actually see on your screens what the safety car is for this evening. It is the Porsche 911 RSR this evening will be our safety car. So, like Spitzlum says, if there's any major incidents on track that require a little bit of a slowing down for all the drivers, then the safety car might get deployed, and that's going to help to bunch up the track and hopefully bring us a little bit closer racing. Very, very exciting
I
stuff.
already see some racing. John Ford keep getting spun into the wall by John Ford. There he goes, and there you can see a little train of people coming down. I think it was from Key. I think there were like a lot of people with, just a lot of people.
Yeah, chaos at the end of qualifying there. Well, there's under a minute in qualifying remaining, and Nicholas Sharon still topping the time charts right now, 1:13.698, his best offering so far. Nathan Alder unable to close that gap so far, and he's in the pits, which means he's not going to get any outlaps or flying laps, so the second is the best Nathan Alder is going to get here in qualifying in the Formula Vectors. Michelle Bursting currently in 4th position on your screens. He's at the bottom end of the... Oh, no, sorry, excuse me, right at the top of the circuit, in the inner loop chicane. John Ford puts in a lap time. He's up to 5th position. Roger Sale is out. He's in 6th. Deuce Surveyor's in 7th. We've got, I think, a couple more drivers yet to come out, unless our timing towers are betraying us. As Michelle Bursting coming into the pits, clearly unhappy with his lap. That just leaves Isaac Johansson and Roger Sale out on circuit. And Isaac Johansson's going to come down the start-finish line. He's going to cross the line only quick enough for 3rd fastest, but Roger Sale improves. He's into the 3rd row of the grid there, into 5th position with a 1:15.346. A lovely, lovely lap from Roger Sale there, and that does bring to a conclusion qualifying for this evening. Nicholas Sharon taking pole position, Nathan Alder just behind, Isaac Johansson and Michelle Bursting, your top 4, and we're going to be starting the race session. Ryan Skywalker still seemingly unable to get into the server. Not sure what's going on with Paul Ryan's setup tonight. He was able to get in earlier, and then he seems to have just disappeared in a way. So hopefully we can see him out a little bit later. I think he can actually join mid-session. A lovely cable cam showing you the drivers on the grid here. Nicholas Sharon, Nathan Alder alongside each other on the front row of the grid. Isaac Johansson and Michelle Bursting in the 2nd. Roger Sale, John Ford on the 3rd row of the grid. Splitslam, the question of course comes to you. Who will be in the lead by the 1st corner?
As you said, it'll be a better outside, as I said, the Trackmania tactics coming out for this little race. Oh, it will be a great dive. That would be by Nathan Alder. These cars also stick to the surface. It's almost like glue. It's a great question, and sincerely, I don't know. Both Nicholas Sharon and Nathan Alder have great starts, and there are just great drivers in general. But I think Nathan has the edge for this start.
Starting from the outside of the grid, he surely could get a decent start, dive down around the outside and carry that speed all the way around that long... It's a very wide radius 1st corner, so, you know, like you say, he could use that to power himself up the hill through the S's and onto the back straight. Hopefully Ryan is able to get into the server. He seems to still be struggling, which is a real shame.
I think he is.
Yeah, it's a real shame to not see Ryan out in the server tonight, given
The one
all the
who wanted
races.
the combo.
Absolutely, yeah. It's devastating. I'm not sure what's happened there for Ryan's rig. But there are still 9 drivers on the grid to be racing tonight. Hello to TKR Mercury in the chat as well.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us again.
I don't think Ryan will come and race. Doesn't seem it is working.
That's a shame.
So that's sad.
That's a real shame. Well, aside from that, the 9 drivers that are on the grid are going to be looking to start this race very well. It's going to be a big run down towards the 1st corner. 13 seconds left for the drivers on the grid as the 6 red lights do go on now, and there's going to be much less than 13 seconds as Nicholas Sharon starts from pole position. Nathan Alder alongside. The red lights go out now, and that's a good start. There's a driver already in the wall. That's I don't know who that is in the wall already, but Nicholas Sharon and Nathan Alder, and just as we said it would happen, Nathan Alder spears around the outside, gets the power down and gets into the lead of this race ahead of Nicholas Sharon behind. Isaac Johansson and Michelle Burston are side by side. There was a driver off in the background there into the first corner. It could have been Lucas Gulacek there. I'm not sure quite what happened, but a chaotic start. It was Roger Sale. Nicholas Sharon takes back the lead from Nathan Alder coming into the chicane. Good braking and then taking the manoeuvre around the outside. Nathan Alder down in second position. Isaac Johansson now hounding him for that second position as well as they come into the interior section. Through chute corner they come. Nathan Alder still in the back of Nicholas Sharon, but getting a little bit of oversteer. And this is a very tight battle for top three, isn't it, Spitz?
Isaac almost getting around the outside like some shading underneath another. It's a very tight battle. These cars will have immense amount of slipstream. Keep Ford overtaking John Ford off camera. Can hear almost the turbos in the cars as well. If you listen and now John Ford around. That's quite dangerous with Roger dodging him just by millimeters. Lucas Gulacek spinning as well. That might be brake balance issues, but for now, no major crashes. I'm happy with how lap 1 turned out. How about you?
Yeah, a bit of a chaotic start, then a few drivers around, but we've kind of managed to settle into it now. Nicholas Sharon with a little bit of a gap to Nathan Alder behind him, just managing that gap and looking to put the foot down and clear off from these drivers battling behind him, as Isaac Johansson is really hounding Nathan Alder for the second position. He's going to get alongside him down the back straight and he's going to be ahead before they reach the chicane. Isaac Johansson swoops through on the inside of Nathan Alder and takes a position away from him. Nathan Alder down into third position, Isaac Johansson up into second, and now he sets his sight on Nicholas Sharon for that first position. Michelle Burston just teetering through in fourth position there, just about reaching the camera shot, but doesn't look like he's going to be challenging this lead battle anytime soon.
I think he is even challenging for a lead ball. He's getting a little bit closer and closer to the Isaac Johansson, but it seems like Isaac Johansson is pulling out on the straights and fast corners. It's like Nathan just has advantage just in the slow corners, which at Watkins got there is not many of.
No, absolutely not. And it looks like the overtaking in this car is going to be made down the straight. It's a bit like the F1 cars. The slipstream looks to be quite potent. Let's jump on board with Nathan Alder and see what kind of advantage he gets on Isaac Johansson. Look at how much he's closed up on Isaac Johansson going down the straight there, right up onto his back end, but actually outbrakes himself going into the first corner, potentially due to the speed of the cars, but also because that slipstream effect is so potent in these cars. The braking zone has to be lengthened quite significantly, especially when you're following someone close behind. Michelle Burston! Oh, what's happened to him there? He's well down, out of the order, down in ninth position. He must have had an incident. He was down from fourth position to ninth. Keith Holt inheriting that position from him.
Nothing, just an incident. I think that's what happened. Michael Burston now getting a little bit of grass while he's going through our loop. He's back to the closest battle on track now. With Isaac Johansson being 1 second away, and the biggest gap, of course, being Michael Burston to Lucas Gulacek. 15 seconds, that's a massive gap.
Yeah,
and the closest battle is Isaac Johansson and Nathan Alder. These cars will be very difficult to overtake with.
Yeah, they certainly seem
I don't think we will see much overtaking.
No, I think it's going to be a case of Nathan Alder just tailing Isaac Johansson, waiting to pounce when he makes just a little bit of a mistake. The mental game is going to be the bigger one here, I think, waiting for Isaac Johansson to run wide so Nathan can just put the foot down, dive through on the inside. Likewise, though, all Isaac Johansson needs to do is keep the car on the track and keep Nathan Alder behind him. And keep doing things like that where Nathan Alder outbrakes himself. I don't think there's DRS of these cars.
Might have so DRS. There, right. If I'm right, I saw on the Nathan's car on the main straight DRS. Yeah, the car has DRS.
Ah, very interesting.
So I was correct. I saw DRS. So things are about to get more and more interesting with Lucas Gulacek having DRS as well right now, being within the 1 second. If I'm right, it should be within the 1 second.
Yeah, it totally should
with
be.
The 1 second range.
Whether Assetto Corsa is allowing that, we will never quite know. Assetto Corsa does like to do its own thing sometimes, but Lucas Gulacek is tailing John Ford here for this 7th place position. John Ford just looking to keep it on the track. He had an incident earlier on in the race, was round, and now he's on the recovery charge here. In that fantastic TKR livery, mirroring his teammate Nathan Alder.
Yeah, definitely. We have only 2 drivers from TKR.
Oh,
with
John Ford's
now
round.
spinning out. That's the brake bias in the heel. It's the second mistake he has that
Oh,
year
but
that I
Lucas
saw.
Gulacek's around as
Lucas
well.
Gulacek spin out as well.
Oh, and the battle is
What is
almost
this?
as you were. If John Ford didn't quite mess up his braking so much there, these two would be quite close locked together. But as it stands, John Ford's still managing that 3-second gap to Lucas Gulacek ahead of him. But the drivers, yeah, just seemingly struggling. There's a bit of an array of tyres on show today. Nathan Alder has got the medium tyres fitted, as has John Ford. Nicholas Sharon with the softs, and Isaac Johansson has got the super softs on. I don't know if that tyre is going to make it through the entire race. I'm not sure what the degradation is like on them, but he might start to struggle towards the end of this race.
I think the super soft will go out hard. I think that's what we will see at the end of the race. The super soft will be rather useless to the mediums because, as I noticed, only Nathan is on the mediums.
And John Ford,
Other
I think.
people just have the super softs or the soft. No, John. Oh yeah, John Ford. It's a team strategy.
It's a team strategy. Team orders coming into play. Hopefully not, to be fair. But yeah, that's going to be very interesting as we come towards the end of this race. And it's also credit to Nathan Alder being able to keep up with Isaac Johansson as it stands with the significantly worse tyre compound on. That does explain why Isaac Johansson wasn't quite... has been able to convert a third place qualifying position to a solid second place. But these two drivers still locked very, very close together. Isaac Johansson, as you can see, attacking the curbs. Nathan Alder just sticking right behind him. Isaac Johansson running wide. Nathan Alder pouncing, but unable to make any moves or any significance happen quite yet. And this is still your closest battle on track.
Oh, that's for sure. And I think it will be the closest battle for quite a while. Unless we get some sort of carnage or anything. With Nathan getting real close, almost diving down the inside. Oh, and drifted through the heel. Oh,
Dear me.
That almost lost him from the slipstream of Isaac Johnson's car, and it definitely dropped him out of the DRS zone.
Absolutely, it has. Nathan Alder just having a bit of an unforced error there, getting a bit of oversteer, and that's dropped him well back from Isaac Johansson. Now the gap, a second and a half to the Swedish driver ahead of him. And now all Nathan Alder has to do is try and stick to his lines, try and keep the lap times high, and I guess wait for these tyres to fall off, as these super softs, I'm still not convinced they're going to last the race. Mind you, Keith Holt, Juice Veyers and Lucas Gulacek all donning the super soft tyres this race. So, you know, it remains to be seen as to whether they know something that Nathan Alder doesn't.
They might have tested on the server. Or if I'm right on the server, there is tyre wear, even on the practice. Or is there tyre wear on the practice server?
I don't believe so.
Because if it is, they could have practiced the 15-minute pace.
Oh,
and
Nathan
then
Alder's
could have
struggling with his
worked
tyres right
Nathan
now,
just
though.
drifting around.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
The British driver there struggling to keep the traction down, and he's sending the back end around as he comes through the final few corners. Nicholas Sharon, the commanding drive that he's doing right now, opened up a gap of 7 seconds to Isaac Johansson, the next closest driver. The gap between himself and fourth is upwards of 15 seconds now. It's an absolutely fantastic drive from the Polish driver so far, and I don't want to curse him too much, so I'll try not to stay on him, but he's having an absolutely fantastic race here on his own in the lead of the race with 5 minutes to go.
It's already 5 minutes to go. I think we might see the most laps in a race we have ever saw. 5 minutes to go. We are already on the 7th lap. One lap beat around one minute. It's faster in these cars the lap Watkins Glen than it's the lap the new circuit of F1 with no chicane, Barcelona. Because that was 140s and now we are in the 114.
How many laps did we get when we did NASCAR?
Oh, that's John Ford. Oh, that's Team Orders. Oh.
Oh, goodness
Isaac
me.
Johansson just saw John Ford in his sights in the middle of the hill corner. I think his heart just... Whoa. That's
yes, fortunately John Ford
dangerous.
managed to get well out of the way of Isaac Johansson there and back on the track with without too much too much disruption, but Isaac Hansen is now approaching this bit of lap traffic in the shape of John Ford. John running quite wide in the first corner there. He's really struggling with this car, not quite gelling with it as much as he does other cars, but Isaac Hansen's got to contend with this now. He's going to be looking forward, trying to take the position away from John Ford. John Ford slowing right down, Isaac Hansen moving out of the way, and John Ford, very well done to abide by the blue flags there and get out of the way of the faster drivers on a very comfortable part of the circuit. He stayed off the stayed out the way of them, didn't he, on the straight?
Oh yeah, he definitely stayed out the way. And we see gaps moving wider and wider apart.
Yeah, drivers just settling in, aren't they? They're just kind of doing their laps, and the gaps are going to start to ebb and flow, I think, through the rest of this race with 4 minutes remaining. We need a little bit of something, a little bit of a pizzazz to make this race really interesting, don't we?
Safety car would be great.
We've got to
But with these gaps, John Ford, I can spin out in the same corner. It's the medium tires as well. I saw John Ford spinning out the both keep spin now in turn 9 with the Niki Lauda-esque livery. Very cool.
Yeah, Keith has got a Niki Lauda livery. It looks really, really nice, doesn't it? Ryan's created this this one. He specifically asked that Keith have the Lauda livery, so I dutifully complied, and it does look wonderful on this Formula Vector car. The lines work absolutely fantastically from the Ferrari 312
and
team.
They put overtaking Isaac Jensen off camera
out of nowhere.
Talking about the beautiful liveries. What happened?
Not sure what happened there.
Just slowed down now. He's almost a second away. Or the super soft going out.
Potentially they are. Let's jump on board with Isaac Hansen and see how he's faring with the circuit at the minute. I'm not sure whether that is the super softs going off or whether he just had an incident somewhere on the circuit, but he absolutely has dropped back from Nathan Alder now. The gap extending now to just over a second, almost 1.2 seconds between himself and the British driver ahead, but that's not going to help Nathan Alder as he drifts around heel corner. Likewise with Isaac Hansen though, both drivers I think starting to struggle with tyre wear, aren't they?
Oh, that would be actually quite weird for the mediums to drop off at the same time as the super soft.
It would be very bizarre. It depends on the driving style though, I think, doesn't it? And Isaac Hansen is starting to close the gap to Nathan Alder down these long straights. Ryan's in the chat. He says he's going to try and join between races. Hopefully we can see you out, Ryan. I was very upset when I didn't see you on the grid, so hopefully whatever is going on is fixed very shortly. And this is still the only real battle on track, isn't it?
Well, it definitely is. These two drivers have been battling horn and horn. That's our leaderboard showing off. Very well done. Actually, with the board showing itself off how it can do carnage. Nathan is 6 seconds off from Nicholas Sharon.
Yeah,
11.
11
He's
seconds.
11 seconds
Yeah.
off. Now it's updated.
It's updated and it's shown the absolute dominance that Nicholas Sharon has had this race. He's been on top of the world. Absolutely blistering laps, lap after lap from Nicholas Sharon. He really is a very talented driver, and it's great to see another lead challenger out in the races today. There he is, putting another fast lap down well in the 114s. We'll see what Isaac Hansen and Nathan Alder's lap times look like when they cross the line. In the 116s, so almost 2 seconds a lap different between Nathan Alder, Isaac Hansen and Nicholas Sharon. That's incredible.
Nicholas is just hot lapping. He doesn't. I don't think he even knows that it's a race anymore. He's hot lapping for fun.
It certainly wouldn't have felt like a
But
race
without
for
a
him.
mistake as well. But without a mistake as well, have you noticed? Not a single mistake displayed by him. He's just vibing and hot lapping. I think this is what great practice does. Michelle Rodriguez should take notes.
Michelle Rodriguez certainly needs to take... You'd make less mistakes if you did more practice, and Nicholas Sharon's proven that, as he had a massive amount of practice in the week leading up to this race, and yeah, he's absolutely showing it off now. No mistakes, 13 seconds the gap to the second place driver, and that is entirely by his own merit. That's not because of there have been incidents that have befallen these drivers behind, but that's not because of... Oh, here we go. Oh, and Nathan Older and Isaac Johansson come together. Nathan Older, rejoining the circuit after touching the wall, just gets tagged by Isaac Johansson, and Isaac Johansson also spinning in the final corner. What on earth is going on?
Isaac's suspension's gone. His engine as well.
Oh my goodness me! Isaac Johansson is out of this race. Nathan Older, after being taken out of second position, is back into it, and Keith Holt is only 5 seconds behind in third position. The gap opening even further between themselves and Nicholas Sharin, and that's a bit of chaos there right at the end of the race, isn't it?
What is this, man?
Play by play there.
Even
Nathan Older went.
Gap.
An even bigger gap to the Nicholas Sharin. The play by play there. Nathan Older ran wide, hit the wall, was rejoining the circuit on the outside of the circuit, and then as Isaac Johansson comes around the corner, there's basically nothing Isaac Johansson can do. He has to drift the car as it drives and goes wide, tangles with Nathan Older, and they both end up in the wall. Absolute chaos for those drivers in second and third. However, no chaos for this man. Nicholas Sharin crosses the line, 30 seconds the gap between himself and Nathan Older, and spotless drive from Nicholas Sharin once again, just like we saw last week. This is another dominant performance and potentially someone to start challenging for the championship next season if he sticks around for that. Lucas Gullicek crosses the line in sixth position.
And the players.
Oh, they've come together for third and fourth. They've come together. Roger Sale's going to come around the corner very soon. This is going to be a tight battle to the line. It looks like Yusvez is going to hold on to this third position for now, though, as Keith... Oh, Keith spins again. He's absolutely struggling, dropping out of the podium positions, really struggling to get the traction down. He's spinning the car in fifth position. Roger Sale through into fourth. Eustace is going to finish the race in third position. Nathan Older finished in second while all that was going on. Roger Sale manages to get into fourth on the last lap. That's a nice little bonus for the Norwegian driver there. Keith Holt in fifth. Gullicek in sixth. Isaac Johansson in seventh, and John fourth in eighth.
Look at that. Nathan Older, John Ford, not anymore, not John Ford. Nathan Older and who is it? Eustace came together in the first corner runoff. Very interesting lineup, to be sure.
Yeah, nice to see them doing some funny things at the end of the race there. Well, that's race one over, and we can start to look forward once again to race two. It's a reverse grid, which means that Lucas Gullicek will be starting from pole position. Keith Holt on second, Roger Sale on third, Eustace rounds out row two. Nathan Older in fifth, Nicholas Sharin in sixth, and then the drivers that for some reason got put to the back that for reasons that we can never quite fully understand were Isaac Johansson and John Ford. Assetto Corsa, being Assetto Corsa, sometimes this happens. I think it's to do with lapping, but sometimes it doesn't happen. Hey, it's anyone's guess. A minute and a half to go until the green light. Spitslam, we saw Nathan Older take the lead from second position last time out. Is that something you think Keith Holt can replicate?
Two great drivers again. I think Lucas has a better chance right now with Keith not being used to the front of the grid that much, with him finishing mid-table a lot of times. So we will see. But I think Gullicek has the better chance.
Hanging onto that inside line, trying to, well, portray the same dominance that Nicholas Sharin did, but we have to look out for those drivers in fifth and sixth. Nathan Older and Nicholas Sharin. They started from pole and second last time. They're going to be looking to gain some positions early on in this race, and we'll see if that causes any chaos and if the safety car needs to make an appearance potentially in this race. That's a possibility. Under a minute to go until the red lights do go out for the drivers, and, well, lots going to be going through their heads as they lead down into the first corner. We saw plenty of chaos in the first corner in the first race. Hopefully, all the drivers make it through nice and cleanly, and we see some good racing in this second race. Isaac Johansson's got a point to prove there in seventh position after missing out on the finish of the last race with suspension problems after coming together with Nathan Older. The red lights are about to go on for the drivers, though. Lucas Gullicek starting from pole position. Keith Holt starting alongside him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red lights for the drivers. The red lights go out. Now, and away we go, and that's a good start from Lucas Gullicek there. There's a driver already in the wall. It's a blue TKR driver. Somehow Roger Sale is in the wall, but keeps going. Terrible, terrible start from Keith Holt. He's dropping positions like a sack of bricks, and he sends Justveirs round. They go around into the first corner. But Lucas Gullicek holds on to that lead. Roger Sale close behind, then it's Nathan Older and Isaac Johansson for third and fourth. And was that Nicholas Sharon that got tangled in the first corner?
Nicholas Sharon and Justveirs got into first corner. It's 2 drivers, not 3. No safety car there, but the guys are definitely closer as I say that Roger Schultz takes the wide line. And now we have 3 great racers into top 3. Lucas Gucci, Nathan Older, and Isaac Johansson.
Yeah, 3 very, very talented drivers.
Battles.
We certainly will. For the lead of the race, Nathan Older having a sniff down the inside of Lucas Gullicek there, thinking better of it, doesn't make the move, but he's tailing Lucas Gullicek now, down the inside, under braking, takes a position away from Lucas Gullicek. Lucas Gullicek spins around in the corner, he's dropping down the order, he collides with Keith Holt, Keith Holt goes around, Michelle Burston avoids the incident himself, goes into 5th position, Isaac Johansson, Roger Sale and Nathan Older are now left to do battle for that lead position, and how quickly things can change in the lead.
That's only 2 cars. The safety car not having any reason to come out. Nathan leading the race, Isaac behind him. We are back to the usual. Nathan Older being chased by someone else.
Exactly as it was almost last time round with Isaac Johansson and Nathan Older. These two are going to be battling to the line. Nicholas Sharon, our race 1 winner, seems like he's going to be out of the running because he is down in 8th position right now, and he's still not even finished the first lap of the race. He's well away from these drivers. These drivers are almost going to come around and lap him soon if he doesn't pick up the pace. He potentially has a little bit of car problems at sea. Well, on my screen, he doesn't have a steering wheel, which certainly doesn't help.
I don't think that's healthy for the car.
I think they might want to look at that.
On my screen, he doesn't have a steering wheel as well, but all the other people do. Nicholas is without a steering wheel.
I'm assuming he might have obtained some damage, and that's what's happened there. An interesting car, but that's why he's going slowly as well, and not catching back up to the drivers ahead of him as we might have expected him to
steering wheel.
Oh, Isaac into the pits.
He loves that steering. Isaac Johansson. DNF.
And DNFing. Well, that means that Roger Sale inherits 2nd place away from the Swedish driver. Michelle Bursting up into 3rd position, and then Lucas Gullicek not too far behind him. He's going to be looking to finish on the podium this time round. He's currently in 4th position and tailing the Polish driver ahead of him. And this race has settled down much quicker than the last race, hasn't it?
Well, it is because Isaac left.
Well,
I think that's the best. There, Mystery Soul. Yeah, Nicholas Sharon will get more points with Isaac Johansson DNFing. Now he will overtake Isaac, and now into 7th place, and we're still down very quick into the race.
Yeah, it has to be said that Nicholas Sharon, whilst clearly a very quick driver, has got 17 seconds to catch up to the next driver in the line, John Ford, and then after that he'd have 20 seconds plus to catch up to the drivers ahead of him. So it's going to be a mammoth task for Nicholas Sharon to get anywhere higher than, well, 6th at the most this race, and well, we'll wait and see if any chaos befalls the drivers ahead of him. Roger Sale puts in the fastest lap of the race his personal fastest lap at 1:16.998, but Nathan Older still with the fastest lap so far at 1:15.762, and just flying out in the lead of this race. Mind you, a little correction to myself, Nicholas Sharon has been putting in faster lap times than everyone on the track, as we might expect, to 1:14.800, but he is, well, it's 50 seconds down on Nathan Older.
A little bit too much. Almost a minute. You can catch up. You can catch up with that in 10 minutes. Maybe it's 20, but it's not done. Talking about fastest lap 1:14.49. Mike Sharon.
Yeah, Nicholas Sharon putting in the fastest lap so far, 1:14.489. Lovely, lovely racing from the Polish driver. Still catching up to John Ford. Just, well, with 15 seconds to catch, and he's catching at a rate of about, well, a second and a half every lap. I don't even think he's going to catch up to John Ford by the end of this race.
Do you actually think that?
I don't think it will. In 15 seconds to catch up in a second and a half a lap, he's going to have to catch up at a rate of... Well, he's got 10 more laps to catch up, and there's only 9.5 minutes left in this race. He might just get to John Ford by the end of the race. We'll wait and see. We do have a little battle brewing here, though, for the podium positions. Lucas Gulicek in 4th position. He's closed the gap to Michel Burstin ahead of him, down to under a second. The gap extending out a little bit as they head down the straight, but still close between 2nd, 3rd and 4th. And, well, one small mistake might lead to a big shift in this podium battle.
They got another fastest lap, 1:14.433. I'm going to ask again, are you sure he isn't going to catch John Ford at the end of the race?
John Ford has just put in a fastest lap of his own, a 1:15.965, and that means that Nicholas is still only lapping a second and a half quicker than John every single lap. And so he's still got 14 seconds. We'll wait and see. I'd love to be proved wrong. It would be very exciting to see a driver fight his way back from that far back as Nicholas Sharon. Well, as he's a driver that we know in this car could do that. But we'll see. We'll wait and see. For now, though, the prevailing battle on track is on your screens. Lucas Gulicek tailing Michal Burstin down the back straight, looking to take the third position away from the Polish driver ahead of him. Through the chicanes to go. Not the best camera angle here from the drone. Jump on board with Lucas Gulicek and see what kind of inroads he can make on the driver ahead of him. Michal, has to be said, is also catching Roger Sale, isn't he?
Well, just a little bit, but that wiggle won't help him. It will help Lucas Gulicek. Now we're taking him with Michel Burstin, not Sharon. Goddamn. Getting overtaken by Lucas Gulicek outrate himself. And those wiggles won't help Lucas Gulicek catch up to Roger Schuh.
Yeah, Michel Burstin there, proving the point of just waiting. Just proving the point of what I was saying before, that Lucas Gulicek was just sat there patiently waiting for a mistake to happen ahead of him. And so there, when Michel Burstin outbroke himself, locked up his brakes, went a bit wide into the corner, Lucas Gulicek just dived down the inside, took the position away from him. And 3rd place belongs to Lucas Gulicek now, and we look ahead from him. And we can see Roger Sale not too far up the road. Lucas just going to be looking to duck into that slipstream and gain any milliseconds he possibly can on the driver ahead.
He's definitely going to want to do the most. Gulicek as well, now gaining a lot of pace on Roger Schuh. This will be a very interesting battle, as now he's under a second to Roger. I mean, we might see a little battle for 2nd place as well.
Yeah, we might potentially.
Another fastest lap, 1:14.392.
Getting into hot lap challenge territory here. Nicholas Sharon absolutely flying out on circuit in 7th position. The gap between himself and the driver ahead now 12 seconds. It's coming down. It's certainly coming down. We'll see if it's coming down enough by the end of this race. Lucas Gulicek on board with him now as he runs super wide in the penultimate corner there, trying to gain any milliseconds he possibly can on the driver ahead, Roger Sale. He's brought this gap down to well within a second, and he's definitely within slipstream and DRS range as they break deep in towards the first corner, powering through and back up the hill through the S's. Roger Sale's going to be looking behind, panicked, isn't he?
Definitely will be. Gulicek will start playing the mind games that I don't know if he can do. I never raced him. So, very interesting things that will happen here. Gulicek taking a little bit of a wider line, skipping the curb.
Yeah, that certainly hasn't helped him at all. The gap now opened back up, about a second and a half between himself and Roger Sale. And well, very, very fine margins in these cars, especially considering that how fast you go in, the braking zones, well, half a second later on braking can actually set you about 50 metres further down the road at the speed that these cars go at.
Another fastest lap. 1:14.048. This guy is on fire, but yeah, now I agree. If John Ford doesn't make any mistake, which not being any more on the medium tire, which I think is a great choice to do, being on the soft, which might be the most reliable compound here with the super softs, as the gent said, were toasted at the end of the race. I don't think you can catch him.
No, I don't think that Nicholas is going to be within firing range of John Ford by the end of this race, which is a shame that he couldn't fight his way through. But of course, got to be good news for John Ford is he's going to be holding onto his position to the end of the race and looking to take home a 6th, maybe even a 5th place position as he is closing that gap to Keith Holt ahead of him as well. Lap on lap, John Ford putting in decent lap times, only 5 seconds between himself and Keith. Taking 5th place is certainly within the realm of possibilities for John Ford here. But on your screen still is this battle between Gulagek and Roger Searle, and that's going to help Lux Gulagek there as Roger Searle goes very, very wide on the exit of the corner there, touches the grass and loses a little bit of time, and it's all on Lucas to just keep the grip levels high and keep in the slipstream down the straights, but out of the wash through the corners, which is a bit of a catch-22. How do you remain in the slipstream and also not remain in the slipstream? But well, that's what the racing drivers get paid to do.
Sounds like the quote from Hamlet: to be in the slipstream or not to be in the slipstream. That's the question that Adam has now said on the stream. I think he's definitely in the slipstream of the car. Now you can see just flying through these S's, then up to turn 4, which is still the S's, onto the straight, and now you can see he's just flying down the straight right behind Roger Searle. Yeah,
Gulagek sniffs down the inside there as they come in towards the inner loop chicane, but thinks better of it, doesn't try and launch a serious move down the inside. He's still over half a second behind. It's definitely outside of sending range as they're coming through the chute corner here. A long left-hander for Gulagek to be tailing Roger Searle through. The gap's still under a second, and it's still getting eked away, but it yo-yos back and forth, doesn't it?
It's only yo-yos back and forth. I don't think the mind games are working for Gulagek. But yeah, let's see. Roger onto super softs, with Lucas now making a little bit of a mistake. Oh, big mistake, spinning round. Oh, too much pressure on him. Maybe
it was too much pressure for the Czech driver. He spins round as they're coming into the infield section, and now that 3rd place position seems to be secured. And yet, that does lead us on to our next battle. I said it was potential. Keith Holt has dropped well into the reaches of John Ford here. The battle for 5th position. Oh, and that's going to make things easier for Nicholas Sharon as John Ford and Keith Holt come together as they're rejoining. They collide once again. John Ford in 6th position. Now down in 7th. Actually loses a position, although regains it off Keith Holt as he slows down to let him through. And I think that was just an error from Keith. Spun into John Ford as he was passing him, and well, John's got it all to do now, and he's got to try and catch up to Nicholas Sharon, but that's a real shame for John to be losing out on that position. But good news for Nicholas Sharon, who's been fighting his way through, and now he's up to 5th position.
Well, that's very good news, but now he definitely can make up an 18-second gap.
Yeah, I think to gain another position is definitely out of the realms of possibilities. Whilst I thought that John Ford was maybe a possibility, I don't think he can gain 18 seconds on Michelle bursting ahead of him, can he?
That is impossible.
Well, Keith Holt and John Ford, their battle seems to have subsided as well. Now John Ford has secured the position ahead of the Austrian driver, and the position is secure, and the drivers look like they're just going to be circulating until the line now, with 40 seconds and a lap to go. Nathan Alder hasn't had much screen time since the first few laps of the race, and that's because he's been dominating this one from the front, much like Nicholas Sharon did last time out in the first race, and much like we've become accustomed to Nathan Alder doing all season long. He's been leading from the front and flying in this Formula Vector car. In this second race, he hasn't been making as many mistakes. He's just been sticking to his lines and getting everything right. 10 seconds. Are we going to get another lap out of this. No, I think this is going to be the penultimate lap. Although I remain to be corrected. No, it's going to be the penultimate lap as he's only coming through the infield section now. He's going to come through and start his final lap very, very soon. Lucas Gulucek is trying to close the gap to the Roger Searle ahead, but I don't think that's going to be a potential either.
Well, no more potential as I see here. It matters if John Ford decides to bin it or not. Well, decides on a lot of drivers if they want to bin it. If Nathan bins it, he can still be first. 22-second gap to Roger Searle.
I think it'd have to be a serious binnage from Nathan Older to lose this lead, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would have to be giant. Just end after safety car. Do what Michael Massey did not.
We'll try and not be the FIA with the safety cars. Well, there we go. Race 2. It seems to be signed, sealed and delivered, although I said that last time and it changed quite quickly. But Nathan Older just circulating the final few corners on a bit of a parade lap here, taking home the win in Race 2. He got a podium position in Race 1 and a win in Race 2. This is a very good day at the races for the British driver here. He's avoided all the chaos early in the race, taken position away from Michelle Burston early in the race, I believe it was. And then now crossing the line, Nathan Older wins Race 2 and claims the championship, of course. Roger Searle not too far behind. I say that actually he's a million miles behind, 25 seconds. Lucas Gulucek doing everything he can to try and take the second place away from him. He's closed the gap from 2 seconds to about a second, which is very impressive, but it's just not going to be enough. He just misses out on that second place position. Nicholas Sharon, incredible. Through into fourth position, takes a position away from his fellow countryman Michelle Burston, who spins for sympathy there in fifth position. Rejoins safely, still ahead of John Ford in sixth position, who's still battling with Keith Holt. Keith Holt closed the gap up to John Ford and has been having a nice little bit of tailing towards the line here. But it looks like this one is going to be finishing as it is. John Ford across the line in sixth position. Keith Holt is going to finish in seventh. Juice Veyers is going to cross the line in eighth position for the final time this season. The checkered flag has fallen, not only on race 2 but also on season 5. Let's try and chat to some of our winners.
And what's next to come? Season 6?
The season 6 to come next. The rotation's still kind of being decided. We'll have a bit of downtime between the seasons. But lots of exciting racing.
2 weeks, 2 months. I have heard the whole summer break being with a track Titan Championship might be replaced with some bigger event.
You know what? There's plans apparently in the works. I'm just talking at the minute. That's all I'm doing. So we'll wait for our race winners to join, and we'll try and chat to them before the end of this stream. 2 thumbs up. Nathan Older in the channel. Nathan Older joining us in the commentary booth. Race 2 winner. Well, that one went to plan in race 2, didn't it?
Yeah, race 2 was a bit more simple, wasn't it? I think the first race was good, but I cooked my tyres battling Isaac, and then I made a mistake towards the end of the lap, hit the wall, and Isaac went for a gap, and he just got really unlucky. I was out of control at the time, and we come together, and I think it broke his suspension. I think.
Yeah, I think that was what the diagnosis of his car was. It was really unfortunate. We saw it happen. There was nowhere either of you could have gone, and you just ended up becoming tangled
together. Yeah. I feel bad for him. I apologise to Isaac.
Well, that's good sportsmanship from you. One of them awful racing incidents, but ironic really that the second race went so much better because you started a bit further back. You had to fight your way through early on in the second race, but you kind of had a bit of a boring race after that, really, didn't you? Again.
Yeah, it was, the first lap was where it all happened. I had a good start, managed to get up to P3 and P2 pretty quick, and then yeah, then managed to pass Lucas, and it looked like as I got past, I just saw a few cars tangling with my mirrors, which sort of gave me a bit of a gap, and then it was, yeah, plain sailing, really, nice and easy.
Yeah, nice easy one for you by the end of it. And then, like you say, race one was a complicated one with some ups and downs, but well, a podium and a race win, a nice way to win the season for you, especially as well, crowning you our season 5 champion, Nathan. Well done.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm really happy with the end of season results. It's a shame Ryan wasn't here tonight. I thought he'd be racing. He was in the practice.
He was meant to be racing, and I think he's had some computer problems because he wasn't able to race after we'd restarted for the race. It was a real shame.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I'm sure he'll be back stronger next season. So I look forward to having a little break and then coming back for season 6. Yeah, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us all season long, and thank you for racing. And well done for tonight, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much, and yeah, excellent commentary, guys, as always. And as we all say, we all look forward to watching the video back, and it's really good with you two commentating.
Thanks, Nathan. Much appreciated.
No worries. Speak to you later, guys.
See you later. Nicholas Sharon was in the channel and then has seemingly disappeared. He seemed to disappear. So, I don't know. We might not get to speak to him. He might be busy.
Don't think so.
Well, okay,
Snag
well,
him again.
Nicholas won race 1. He's not chatting too much. No, well, you give him another tag, give him another poke. And we'll do a little bit of a season round out. Season 5's over, as we've said. That was the last race. And it was a nice, relatively calm note to finish the season on, especially given how chaotic some of the earlier races have been. There's been a lot of drivers in and out. We've seen some old faces and some new faces, and it's nice to see we've had quite a wide array of race winners this season. We've had Nicholas Sharon, as we've seen, Nathan Alder, Ryan Skywalker. I think Diego Teixeira won this season, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been a nice 13 weeks, hasn't it?
Our beloved Frenchman, Alex Heller, left. Yeah. Oh,
well,
my internet.
We'll see if Nicholas Sharon makes an appearance whilst we kind of awkwardly wait. Not to leave the stream just silent for so long. I don't think Nicholas Sharon will be around for the interview. He kind of appeared and then disappeared. So we'll just congratulate him on a fantastic win in race 1, a dominant performance. Oh, here he is. This guy, Nicholas Sharon, race 1 winner. Race 1, we'll start with you. That was a pretty calm one, right? You won from the front, really. Nicholas.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, it pretty much was a lonely race, like last time.
Yeah, it was a lonely race, just like last week.
I got the pace. I don't know.
Yeah, you had to battle Nathan Alder for the lead off the line, but I think you got kind of tangled in battle with Isaac Johansson, and it became a lot easier for you. But race 2 didn't quite go to plan. Did you get taken out early on in the race?
Yeah, I don't know who it was, but after the bus stop, I just went straight into someone who crashed like on the middle of the circuit. So yeah, unlucky.
That is very unlucky. We were saying how you were so far back, I couldn't really see you getting too many positions, and then you proved me wrong by going from like 8th to 4th by the end of the race. You inherited a few positions from some luck, I think, some incidents ahead, but it was a bit of a testament to sticking on the track gets you positions.
Yeah. I don't know, consistency is the key since many people have just spun out, so you know.
Yeah, totally. That's it. It was well, your story of the day, really. You just kept it consistent and kept it on the track and inherited the positions. Well, not too much to say, really. It was a great race, and well, great racing from you. thanks for racing this season as well, and it'd be good to see you back for season 6 soon. But unless Spitslam's got any last questions for you, we'll let you move on.
No, just you had a great race. It's basically a hot lap challenge for you. So I hope you had fun.
Yeah, the soft tire was really good. Like it was holding the grip like for like I don't know 20 laps or even 25, so I could just hold the pace. Yeah,
Yes, it
thanks,
served
guys.
you well.
Thanks.
Nice one. Thanks, Nicholas. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, take care.
There we go, Nicholas Sharon. Race 1 winner. Race 2, 4th place. Well, that brings to an end season 5. Thanks to everyone that joined us here on the Track Titan Community Race channel. As we said, season 6 will be back soon enough. We'll have a short break and then we'll announce things when we've got a clear plan of what we're going to do into season 6. But Spitslam, it's been a pleasure to commentate alongside you once again. And give us a closing remark for the season.
Well, started off with saying a very interesting race, and we had some pretty carnage. I don't not remember the race. Well, 21st of February. That's a long time ago.
A long time ago.
It was some amazing races, amazing tracks. You can look back at those streams if you want to on this Track Titan channel. Of course, me missing Autodraw Moss Bragar 1, which I am heartbroken about. That was one of the combos I was most excited for. Still, the time in London was great. Mugello missed it as well. The Pentatonics concert was worth it. Lost my voice at it. Okay, Estonia's were I think the best race of the season.
Yep, absolutely.
What do you think was the best race?
That's a tricky one. You put me on the. I actually hadn't thought of this. I actually didn't think this through. Best race of the season for me. TCR at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve was a pretty chaotic one, but goodness me, thinking all the way back to March and February, I really enjoyed watching the MX-5s when we had them out. That brought some fun racing.
MX-5s. I wasn't here for them as well. Laguna Seca. I missed a lot of races this season. Goddamn.
It was a bit of a spotty season all around. Well, well done, Spitslam, for a fantastic job commentating all season. Thanks to everyone that joined us, and well, we'll call it there. So, good night.